welcome to the Learning for Legacy show with me, your host, Afam Onyenakala. This is all about the concept of making generational wealth understandable, practical, and accessible. I'll be exploring a range of topics and sharing conversations, interviews, and more. Because what good is building wealth if we don't build the people? Thank you for joining us again on the show. I mentioned in episode 1 of this show that I would at various times explore generational wealth topics through 4 key lenses that represent what I stand for. These again are learning, laughter, leadership, and legacy. This particular episode is all about taking a laughter recess, having fun working on and building our lives. That's right, a bit of fun. Because sometimes it's easier to have fun if we get rid of some, can you guess it? Clutter. Yes, clutter. We'll have a look at identifying and getting rid of things that drain your energy. And by energy, I mean that internal burst of life that enables you to get things done, have meaningful relationships, and stay in top shape spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and physically. If you've already have had and have a life full of stress, then this energy is probably pretty limited and possibly very close to a level of burnout. Now, everyone has a finite amount of this energy, which we can compare to the fuel gauge in a car. On a daily basis, this level will increase or decrease depending on how much of this fuel we have in the tank. So as you go about various tasks during the day, that level will naturally decrease. This is why in episode 6, I refer to how a quality input, or in other words, the things that we put into ourselves, such as rest, exercise, and recreation, are the fuel towards enabling us to produce a consistent output towards achieving desired outcomes. Another aspect of this, however, involves decluttering our environment. Because although the positive actions that we take require energy, the actions we don't take use up that energy as well. This could be a messy office or home needing organization, or neglecting a health issue you've been putting off, or maybe a relational conflict you need to put right, or even the heaviness of money problems hanging over your head. All of these things can spend us spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and physically. It can be really hard because all these things can entangle our focus in the past, present, and future all at the same time. It means sometimes if we're looking or thinking about incomplete or unresolved things from the past, but also worrying about things that haven't happened in the future, it doesn't leave us with much energy to focus on the present. So how can we flip that? I think that this is where we have to lose something in order to win. It's about making a commitment and taking small steps to make changes that help increase that energy in our lives. And so back to this decluttering then, how can we approach tackling something such as a disorganized home or a disorganized office workspace? So if I use a basketball analogy, we could do some of the following. First of all, we handle it. The ball is yours. You've got that rock. You're on the court. And what would that mean in this situation? It means that you can just sort the problem out for yourself. Number 2, you can pass it on. On that basketball court, if it's too difficult to take the shot, you'd look around for a teammate in a better position. Or in this case, what that means is that you would delegate, get help, hire, or transfer that task to someone else. And finally, you dunk it. You go for the elevation, you've got that defender's hand in your face on the court, and you rise above them and you slam it home like Michael Jordan, LeBron James, or Zion Williamson. You bin that thing, you get rid of it. And you're doing that along with the satisfaction that comes with knowing that there's one less thing for you to focus on. And I say this with all seriousness because we should have a lot of fun decluttering certain aspects of our life because it's positively refueling our energy tank. A wonderful byproduct of this is that you become more decisive about your priorities and stronger in saying no in order to focus more on these things. For example, you may be asked by your friends to join them for a night out, but on one occasion you may need to just say no. If in the extreme your intention is misunderstood as selfishness, then the fun part is to not be intimidated in taking a stand for yourself. This is the essential difference between that of self-care and that of selfishness. Selfishness, generally speaking, negatively deprives another person for the interest of yourself, whereby self-care is when you prioritize moments to tend to yourself, to improve yourself, which will ultimately enable you to be of better value to those around you. So, as the philosophically inspired oratory musings of Destiny's Child once revealed, you can once in a while say, no, 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 instead of saying, yeah, 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 yeah. This aspect of self-care helps us to make active decisions about what remains in our life right now. By positioning ourselves to be in the present, this helps us to not just rid ourselves of physical and emotional clutter, but it also aids in refueling the energy in our internal tank to be used again throughout the day. Thanks for listening to Learning for Legacy. To join our community or find out about what else we get up to, you can follow us on Twitter at Legacy Learning or on our website at www.legacylearning.co.uk. To access additional content or exclusives from this particular episode, please find the information within the show notes.